prediction?
I gave no number, but I said if CompLexity is not able to come out of the funk that they're currently in here, iBUYPOWER is just going to mop this up very easy. Let's 16-7 iBUYPOWER.
Wow, no faith. No faith. But of course, given the trends, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Misled. This is the upper bracket finals. The loser, of course, descends to the lower bracket and faces off against the winners of the lower bracket finals to see who eventually ends up in the grand finals. Of course, the difference in the paths is much more pronounced. If you were in the lower brackets, you have to win 2 best-of-3s, and the upper bracket, of course, just the 1. For iBUYPOWER, they've started off with a 4-1 split. Swag alone in the squeaky, and look at the boost over. Semphis is behind. Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Oh,
a little early.
Man.
Everybody's flashed in the doorway. A flash from his teammate has allowed him to keep on shooting and keep being aggressive. Now all of iBUYPOWER is pinched between the CT forces. Daze continues the fight, and he needs to win this battle with Semphis. Otherwise, this round cannot possibly go well. Here continues the flank. Semphis is looking at the quad, has damaged him, and thrown a nade that will ultimately finish off Swag. AZK's pushing through the back of the site and finds nothing. 2 versus 2, big plays already. Steals in the main. This is a huge, chaotic melee. Nobody knows where anybody is, and AZK finishes off the round with a quad, saving his team, who really needed it. They started off so badly, and sometimes you just need to put your team on your back.
I don't know if you caught what happened there, but he was hiding in a smoke near Forklift, actually in between Forklift and that wall, and was actually able to hide there and work his way out, catch 2 people on the flank, get in a gunfight with the guy on quad, and then finish the remaining of the CT team for the 4K. That was huge. Nobody even thought to clear Forklift. Ugh.
Well, there was smoke in between, and it was hard to see. He was dancing around. He made a very difficult target of himself, and sometimes, like I said, the individual play overcomes, and they really needed it. iBUYPOWER did.
That was big right there to try and close that out, and iBUYPOWER already took that first round, so as long as they don't get eco'd here, they're in good shape to grab the first 3.
Everybody alive for both teams. CompLexity is fielding 4 CZs, and these weapons, let me ask you, are they overpowered?
The CC-75?
Yeah.
It's the 3rd best rifle in the game, so
yeah.
It is ridiculous. That gun is so good, it's unreal.
It needs to be like it needs to be out of the range of a pistol round. It's got to be like $900, $800.
I think the trade is good though. You only get 24 bullets, so
that's all you need. 24.
If they're stacked, it's done.
That's like 10 too many. Look how many headshots people get with these things.
They're ridiculously good.
Deep nades to find the quad player. Nothing is down, and Semphis waits with CZ. Still has enough shots to continue the fight. Hiko waits and probably will wrest a gun away from the dead Dazed. It looks as though the fight had stalled in the doorway. And I think Sean Garris has taken up the location of his teammate Semphis, who moved back over to fight iBUYPOWER. Still another CZ kill. I'm telling you, these are way too overpowered. Still, you know, justly, Skadoodle finishes off the round with the bomb plant for a personal cast. Those things are so strong.
Yeah, but they're so easy to just burn yourself with. That's 12 bullets that shoot extremely fast. You panic and just spray. You're completely caught with your pants down at that point. But it worked out for him. I mean, they were able to force 4 rebuys there until Skadoodle cleaned up the end of that round. So, as you can see here, Galil, 2 Galils actually now.
Knowing what they know and about the casualties that they've taken, iBUYPOWER has been forced to almost fully upgrade to the final tier of weaponry so they don't have to buy again the next round. Smart decision making on their part as long as they control the weapons, as long as they play close together to protect players. Look now at the 2 extreme players here and here. They are unguarded and they need to make sure that their weapons aren't recoverable, or Steel can just destroy everybody. I don't know how he controlled the gallows spray like that. How does that happen?
Man, the Galil spray is such a fickle mistress. It's so unreal. I will use the Galil and I will not use the FAMAS. Can't control the FAMAS. Galil's a little bit easier to pull back down, but that was the 3rd round that they grabbed for themselves, so it's going to be back to the all-important buy here.
This round will be certainly telling, and because of the limited kills in that last round, excuse me, the utility nades available to CompLexity are just a bit limited. just 2 flashes, excuse me, 2 smokes and a handful of flashes for the entirety of the Cole team. Hopefully, iBUYPOWER does their work for them and smokes out and then flashes out for them.
Skadoodle not with an op here.
We've seen this hold before. Nothing and Hiko have cross-fired from the platform with Nothing looking generator side and Hiko just being the lurk. But without vision and a third player to support mid, where iBUYPOWER wants to eventually control, they've sacrificed a person there. Some personnel missing at mid can sometimes spell doom on DE Cash.
I do like what iBUYPOWER is doing here. They're trying to see if CompLexity is going to get a little bit antsy, try and force the issue, and then catch that player off guard and give themselves ultimately the one-man advantage to push aside.
Now the bunch happens at B. This will set up a set piece for the site, but the bomb has yet to arrive. It will come through the vents and it'll be a 2-prong take. Smoke and flashes in, just mollies on the platform, and now Nothing. If you look at his health, is beginning to fry. He moves to the back to save himself, and a double nade touchdown. AZK taking advantage of the players who were damaged by fire. Hiko still in the site, has a double, maybe a triple. No, Swag has him down. 2 versus 2, and the retake happens a little bit early. They've done some damage to Swag, and now the team's health is nearly identical, and that's gonna be a little different now. Shangers eats most of that nade. No bomb plant possible with 20 seconds left. The bomb is out in front, and maybe with the clock winding down, this is going to be an easy round win if they can just play it safe. Unless Skadoodle comes in charging, has one. Anger. Now it's a one-on-one. Above is Shangers, who drops down to the lower level. 5 seconds now. Really no time to plant. Here's a force plant, and he's gonna let it happen. Get it. Skadoodle knows.
Oh my goodness. He still let him plant though, so they're gonna get money for the plant.
They're going to get the plant. CompLexity gets the important round win. And the economy of iBUYPOWER is beginning to balloon because of that play. And Shangers, he's happy with the round win, but I think he knows, and I think his team knows, that it could have gone so much differently.
Yeah, I wonder if Skadoodle is now going to step into an op here. He's got 8,300, and nope, not going for the op yet. Which is interesting. He's been so hot with it right now, and I mean, he almost just clutched with an AK right there, so I wonder why they're not going for an aggressive mid-control yet.
Perhaps it's not necessary yet. Not in their eyes. Spread look for iBUYPOWER. Perhaps a spread passive look as they wait for pushers. Swag in the second of the long rooms waits on top of the boosted box to find Anger, who comes out looking for the one player. Turns out Skadoodle was waiting there for him. This passive look, the spread passive hold, turned out to be the right call. They seem to have CompLexity's calling card. They know each and every one of their actions. Swag has an entry, really, at the back quad here, and the rotate's called over. Nothing comes to support from the white truck, and he has nothing to do but move forward because he's been smoked out. Swag looks at the containers, has smoke in his eyes. Really, the spread passive look was the right call, and it was really a brilliant call by Daze and Steel.
Yeah, the double fake, though. Those actually, the bomb and another player actually rotated back into mid. Now they're going to go back and commit to A main here.
The bomb is waiting in tow, and they're just waiting for CompLexity to make that one error. They've got such an advantage now that if they needed to force their way in with 5 players, they could do it. And they begin to gather now as the swing player comes back around to join the squeaky side. And Steel will set up with probably a set smoke. Daze has one. The next player at the white truck needs to be smoked out. Surely the smoke will be coming soon from the support player. There it is. It's just a flashbang. Hiko and Shangers come in through the same firing lane, and there's a lot wrong with coming in through the same firing lane. It's just so dangerous. They have to move out, don't they? Yeah, they will.
Yeah, you got to get out of there. And they're just going to go for the save. So, wise decision here, because that would have broke the bank, and it's going to break the bank for their teammates.
You get the spread passive hold, perhaps, like the way I'm illustrating it now. And you maybe find one pick here, another one here, and suddenly CompLexity doesn't want to push anymore. You have the opportunity to go to the bunch look now. You can have that very Euro 4 players and maybe one lurker elsewhere moving into a site without the punishment coming from another side of the map. And iBUYPOWER's success here maybe will get into the head of CompLexity. And I hope it doesn't. I want, just like you, I want CompLexity to play aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, when they play, it's not a hyper-aggressive strat that they play or a style that they play as, but it's a little bit more to try and look at the offset site that you think they're not at to find out a little bit more information to allow you
Look
to
at the
rotate
boost
better.
over. Sean
It's
Gears is
going.
almost over the top, and somebody's waiting for him. Swag is there. He drops out after being dinked 6 HP, and nobody can come trade through that smoke. Smart play for CompLexity to get an early advantage. They'll do it again. Sean Gears is looking with his hand in the cookie jar, and this is going to get him killed. Really, it's going to get him killed. He is being so patient here. 2 heads available, and he doesn't go for another one. I cannot believe he got away with it. Skadoodle lets him get away. 3 alive for iBUYPOWER, and they must be frustrated with Cole being as aggressive as they are this round.
Yeah, they're making it happen right here. They've already killed 2, and they're looking to get a 3rd. They do.
Somehow, with this micro buy, not even a micro buy, it's a save with a couple of luxury pistols, they're making this round work for them because they're fighting with such irregular guerrilla tactics.
It's working. They've already forced 3 rebuys. If they're able to get 1 more, I'd consider it a success. Oh, that nade.
Devastating. Devastating. Now to a 3 versus 2. And this is a very winnable 3 versus 2 because Steel has enough HP. If he can find 1 more kill, somebody out of position, then it will be a complete coin toss for them as to who wins. It's split 1-1, 1 through the connector, or the Z. Skadoodle's thinking about it. Came in, found nothing. The odds are all evened up, and the healths are just about identical. Sean Gears thinks to find a gun. He procures one. It's AK and M4A4 versus double AK long-range shot. Hiko has Skadoodle. 1 left in the sight. The bomb's planted in the smoke. Steel needs to clutch or surrender another round to CompLexity. He goes to the forklift to execute, and I think he's made just enough noise. Yeah, Sean Gears knew where he was. What a beautiful eco round. Really, really impressive stuff.
That is the eco that you need for your team right there. They were able to bring that down. Even though they weren't able to buy up around those rifles to support them, they still finished around 2 alive, 2 rifles. They're going to force a full rebuy for iBUYPOWER, and they got a defuse. In iBUYPOWER's defense, though, they did get the bomb plant, and let's take a peek at money. They're in buy range still, so they can still go for it. And if they do get this win on this round, it is going to hurt CompLexity and put them back into a save, though.
Both teams in peril of forcing themselves into a save situation, so this of course becomes a pivotal round that will change the face at least of this half. Smoke for mid and a nade over in case somebody's boosting. It does some damage. Dazed eats about 30 or 25. Spread look again for iBUYPOWER, and they play off. Very, very passive. One at the horseshoe is probably the most aggressive, and another at the squeaky. Now being a little bit overly aggressive, Swag gathers some information, sees Sempus, and in some sort of odd confusion, neither player is really able to put lead on top of each other. Just a nade drops on Swag. But think about the information Swag just gathered. The nade dropped at such a trajectory, so slowly, that I think Swag has to know that Anger's on top of that box. Anger needs to move. He needs to get out of here.
Yeah, at that point, you gotta suspect that you've been found out. You gotta get away from that. You can't try and lurk that spot. But if playing it, they might think he did drop out of it, because that would be the smart thing to do, drop out, and he might be able to fake that out.
Oh, he's done damage to nothing. Nothing holds pat, thinking that he's got a safe look. Daze just did not do his homework, did not be thorough, was not thorough enough by checking that box at the... What are you doing, iBUYPOWER? Open, no, close, open, no, close the door. They've gone to CT above, and they had to have known where Anger was. He tries to escape the site by moving into Squeaky, and he does. I can't believe he's escaped. Swag has no idea where he is. Look at him just scanning around. Has really no idea. There it is. You see his belt. Anger, you see his belt. Oh my god. The plays that were not made. The plays that were not made. So much damage done to both players here. iBUYPOWER has a collective 40 HP, and still they win the round. They lead by 3. The missed plays, Luca, they blind me.
That could have been an easy round either way. I mean, they didn't check up top, which the second player probably should have done while the first player was scanning through sight. And then Anger was able to get one, had to drop down into the Squeaky, not able to get the forklift player, not able to get the player that was directly in sight across from him. Just a lot of missed shots right there, but iBUYPOWER was able to take it home.
Flash is over, and Anger has pushed all the way to the mid double doors. Boost over. We'll see if Anger catches anybody. Well, I couldn't even move to him fast enough. 2 early kills, and iBUYPOWER knows that pretty much Cole is trying to... Oh, I might be writing people off too quickly. No. Cole's getting desperate, and their pushing is becoming just a tad predictable.
That spray from Dazed, the pull down, able to bring it home right there in mid.
Sean Gares with 5-7 lurks around the map trying to find an easy kill, perhaps a gun to pick up, but likely he will not really walk away with anything more than a single kill in this round. With one rebuy and the iBUYPOWER economy looking like this, they'll begin to build a lead where they can lose rounds comfortably if they so chose. Not where you want to be if you're CompLexity.
No, you're hurting right now, and Sean Garris is gonna try and lurk T-spawn, see if he can pick up some exits here, and he's gonna get close. I don't know if anyone's actually gonna exit through T-spawn though, with one player already pushed through CT.
We're gonna see.
They're gonna go for it.
I want to show AZK's stats in just a little bit because he's 13-4 right now. Good. Well, at least he made him 13-5. I want to pull up AZK's damage. Look how far above the mean he is. This is your average. And AZK just exists out in space by himself, never once touching the average. He's just out here, alone, being a beast.
He's doing ridiculously well right now. It's insane here. But they're able to connect their shots here. iBUYPOWER is winning those battles once again. But the weird thing is no op in Skadoodle's hands, no mid control. They're just going for one-side looks.
Maybe they don't need it, and maybe it's part of the game plan. Remember, in the playoffs, you see a lot of looks. Oh, Lord. Sean Gares is sad. Remember, in the playoffs, you see a lot of looks that you're not typically used to. You start scouting a lot of looks that you're not giving a lot of teams lately because you just want to surprise them with new and different things. Semphis burned to death right as he had the chance to kill the bomb planter, and it just seems like a comedy of errors, just a tragedy being written round after round after round. So many plays within a fingertips reach, just ripped away. Ripped away.
A good round there, though. iBUYPOWER was able to get their smokes down. They were able to lock off the truck smoke to prevent the guy from truck being able to shoot down through them as they go to site. They got the quad smoke off, and they just executed well through the fires where they needed to throw them, one back of sight, one over in the corner by the squeaky, and they made it happen. They hit their shots, which is the biggest thing. Semphis not able to get a shot off. Saw a guy up on top of the red in sight, not able to get that. And it's really hurting CompLexity right now, not able to hit anything.
Look at the mid-control surrendered by both teams here. If Daze wanted to move through the Z, he could easily and be totally uncontested. It's a stack at A, and because of the eco round, they are taking that sort of gamble. 1-1 on the trade. Hiko had one at the vent, then Swag a double inside of bomb site A. The site has been cleared out. Daze comes back for Hiko. One kill is, I suppose, thus far a success, but really they were hoping for a little bit more. Man, with the CZ, I guess.
Two.
Yeah, that's a start. And that was it.
I was going to say, if he could have ISO'd that bomb, taken Skadoodle down, that would have put him in a good position. 1 versus 2 with the rifle. Didn't happen that way. iBUYPOWER is just shooting so extremely well right now. It's insane. And I believe, did Jordan just flash himself completely? Is that what happened?
No, it was one of those moments where he tried to author his own new pop flash mid-game. Everybody's tried it, like, oh, I think this would work, and you throw it off the ground or some wall and it just blows up in your face.
Those are always the best flashbangs.
Mid-control, iBUYPOWER chooses this time, and CompLexity replies by boosting one into vent. With Hiko down by checkers and Steel seeing him, Steel is calling out in his team's communications, I see a player close vent checkers, look vent mid, look vent mid. And that player who's in vent, probably nothing, he's more than likely going to be pre-fired. That's not a good time. That's not a safe place to be.
No, that pre-fire spot is just going to be bait for yourself. You're going to take a bunch of damage, get aggressive, try and get out of that, and get smoked by the player watching you.
Swag has the first, then Semphis, and they threw fire to push him out of the vent instead of just going for the easy headshot there. So they've controlled mid, and CompLexity, they're beginning to show that emotional... What was that?
I have no idea what just happened with that flashbang.
Hiko has one, and then a double. Stylish looking there, sees the feed of one, maybe picks up a triple, does, and makes this round a 2 versus 2. A huge play by him to at least make this a doable, a winnable situation. Daze and Skadoodle face off against Anger, and Sean oh, a head's being seen. Look at the Today, everybody's nades are flying out of their hands incorrectly. On Dust 2, on this map, no nades are being thrown correctly.
Yeah, that flash was defying physics, the one that got thrown in the hallway.
It was odd. Smoke Wow!
Wow.
Wow! Dazed lays down the law. Sean Gares versus 2. Comes in with the op, looks for the corner. Nobody's going to peek him, of course. He knows one's in the site, and it's just a matter of him making work of that. On top of the quad above him is Dazed, or Skadoodle, excuse me, one-on-one, and the chance is just missed. Now it's just a kite around the boxes. No battle won. Skadoodle has Sean Gare's number for, it seems, the billionth time. It's going to be 9-2.
So Op is going to be back in the hands of Skadoodle here. Look for him to try and turn it back on once again. Even though he's 13-5 right now, trying to get back to that heat that he had at the end of Dust 2 when he just completely toggled on. Just absolutely ridiculous with his op. But CompLexity really needs to hit their shots here. Hiko was able to win a big battle there, got a 1 versus 3 as he went down, which is gigantic. The rest of your team needs to capitalize on those. They have to hit their shots to make what you just did worth it. Otherwise, there's no reason to get 3 people before you die.
We had a momentary pause. It looks like we'll be resuming right now. And we are waiting on the actions of one Spangler. We got it. Here we go. The play for iBUYPOWER sends 3 to A main, including a couple that are wielding flashbangs. Perhaps as a fake, they withdraw them. Here's a flash for the Squeaky as Swag comes pushing up. Everybody's flat in this doorway, and Sean Gares had a chance to bring down 3 players. Doesn't get a single one. They recover from the flashbang, and they turn it into a triple of their own. Again, the story of missed opportunities. Hiko has the first kill of the round. It's AZK, then a nade comes to trade him out, and now it just leaves nothing by himself. The round could have fallen apart so easily for iBUYPOWER had they had Sean Gares connected on those Fama shots early in A main, but now nothing must save.
Yeah, he's got to get out of there. That was the situation I was talking about, where knowing where to throw flashes and smokes is helpful, but using the timing correctly, they could have popped that. You might clutch this. Get
nothing getting just a little bit creative with his flashbangs again. Drops it at his own feet. Sees the fire coming. Is probably going to get burned alive or headshotted by Swag. 10-2, and the comeback looks less and less and less likely.
And by clutch that, I meant get at least 2 more kills, not clutched around. He was nowhere near being able to get back to the bomb time. What I was saying though is being able to throw those flashes and smokes and use the timing correctly. If he would have just pushed in on that flash and had it go into the back, left corner as you enter, they'd be turning away from the flash to not get blind or be getting blind. You'll only get partialed and you're just in there, and that could have been an easy 3K for him, but he waited too long.
To focus on the positives, iBUYPOWER is slowly, well, no, not at all slowly, quickly showing us that they are the class of North America. It just seems as though they are untouchable these days.
They're shooting so very well, and I mean, this is looking like, I'm not going to say it's a for sure done deal, but this is looking like another time iBUYPOWER is able to beat CompLexity in the rematch of the rematch of the rematch.
Of the rematch.
Yes.
4 walking through mid. Mid control was a fairly silent affair, as nobody has been controlling Z for quite some time, and for the remainder of this round, it becomes an easy wrap toward bomb site A. AZK has walked all the way up the connector, and as the impromptu entry fragger who hasn't yet had to frag anybody, he'll move into the site. Sean Gares is pushed, and with his Famas brought down Swag, who is the wrapping force over at A main, and now I think it looks as if CompLexity is starting to put this strat together. If we found Swag here, I see a number of people here, it's probably a wrap attempt. The bomb gets dropped. Steel and Dazed have to improvise. Most importantly, Daze has to not get spotted. As Z does get spotted, turns that into a kill. It's a 3 versus 1. Steals the last, and he loses the battle. CompLexity wins their first round in what seems like forever. At least they're climbing into it now.
Yeah, able to scratch a win out right there is going to be so helpful, but still not forcing iBUYPOWER into a situation where the money is hurting them bad yet. As you can see, they just all bought up, and a lot of their players have either 5,000, 4,000, or 7 actually. Wow, Steel's got a ton of money right now. So they're not hurting bad yet, but if Complexity is able to string together 2 of those, that is really going to be helpful for them, and it's going to put iBUYPOWER finally into a save, which they desperately need.
3-2 split on A. They'll spam through, wait with a couple of set smokes and flashes, waiting to throw above the top of the A building, and then they'll split up again. The bomb moves through A main and then waits. Really no reason to push through as fast as iBUYPOWER is, and maybe they'll wait at the doors before they execute here, because frankly they're so blunt with this force that, well, all these nades are advertising how many people are here, so maybe the rotates are getting called for and they're going to change up their speed. Again, out the door, they've smoked out the quad. 3 are in the site for the CTs, and here is the battle. With the advantage of smoke, they should have been able to pick up a couple of kills there. They do. Still, they took a lot of damage. Steel comes back around, finds a reloading and nade throwing Sempis. That leaves Anger to clutch. Anger versus Steel and AZK. And on top of the container, look at the reflexes there. Really, really impressive stuff. Still, it may not win the round. Here's the attempt. No pre-fire for Anger, 11-3, and iBUYPOWER is climbing into those double digits where you probably cannot catch them.
Man, that's a problem right there. Winning a round and then immediately losing the next round is so hurt, because you stop that bonus money streak that you're on, and now you're just completely broke. And as you can see here, they're buying out whatever they can to try and hopefully get an eco and shut iBUYPOWER down and get some money back in the bank. But this is going to be a really, really tough eco for them to win.
You know, what's really alarming is that iBUYPOWER's offense has just been spread passive and then bunch ISO pick. There's really been nothing else. There's been one set fire throwing at B, and really nothing else. And if that's if a single facet or a 2-look, oh, impressive looking stuff by Sempis. If a 2-look offense is defeating Cole, then I cannot in good consciousness say that Cole is the second best team in America. Frankly, I think other teams would be able to do this a little better.
I'll give them a little bit more credit. They did have one set at A that they did, the smokes, but yeah, it's just they're not adapting the way Complexity normally would and should adapt here.
I guess the getting at is that we're not seeing the most sophisticated offense from iBUYPOWER. Sure, there are some nice things here, and Cache is not exactly a map where you can be super creative, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not able to adjust quick, and I mean, they just let that go 12-3. Man, that is so hurtful, and iBUYPOWER is going to switch. That is bad. That is real bad going into this half here.
You were watching...
have a stellar half.
Yeah. You were watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is misled, and as he was indicating, things are not happy times for Complexity, as Hiko wishes his opponents just fun. Not luck, but just fun. We have a push through, and they looked away at the wrong time again. The number 7 man Swag has pushed all the way through the long hallway, and he drops back smartly to go support his teammate. Escudo gets dropped, and he finds that somebody's waiting for him. Sean Gare's having some hard times locating his shot here. Sempis has a good-looking burst kill, and then iBUYPOWER responds with a double. Dazed and Steel claim Sean Gare's and Sempis. An early kill here would make this a possible win for iBUYPOWER, though Complexity has now seized the site. Nothing and Hiko, who are so familiar defending it, now have to detonate a bomb inside the site. Oh, the YOLO plays. Hiko charged the door, trying to get some early kills. I see the thought process there, and I laud his effort, but no kills translated, and now it's going to be 13-3.
That's a tough first round to lose right there. You really needed that. That's going to set iBUYPOWER up in a position where, as long as they don't get ecoed on these gun rounds, they're going to put themselves in a tie, if not the win right off the bat. And Complexity after that has to win a gun-on-gun round and continue to win after that. They can't falter a single round. Otherwise, they're out of it and they move down to the lower bracket.
Well, I guess this has set us up for the greatest comeback ever.
Forcing nuke incoming.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'll start getting really chipper and uppity and joyful with every increase in kill. I'm ready.
The AK on nothing, though. That is so risky.
I suppose right now you have to make those increasingly risky plays. A CZ kill has dropped swag. It doesn't give a new gun to CompLexity, however. They rely on Nothing's AK, and he'll be probably the entry force, rounding the corner, looking at the quad. Look how close to the door that CT is, inside the site. It's our number 8 man. A high-low has caught them. A classic textbook move in Cash's bomb site has caught CompLexity off guard. On top of the balcony, AZK comes back with a FOMS, leaving Sean Gares with just his M4A4, looking at the quad, picking up a kill, and then losing the round. 14-3. I like the high-low play. I am just a little bit surprised that Cole didn't read that.
Yeah, miscue there for them, but that's so hurtful, though, with that AK buy, that off buy for Nothing. Man, he's going to be so low on money, and he's going to buy out here. So they're definitely going to be fighting for the win, but if he would have just held that back and went for it on this round, he could have had a gun in armor. So that would have been 3 guns with armor for their team instead of 2.
Here's a shot. AZK doing AZK things. Sean Gares down with a quick and clean burst of the AK-47. 4 alive for CompLexity, and if they lose this round, they move directly into the game point. Or iBUYPOWER moves them directly into the game point. 2 alive for Cole. It's Hiko and Semphis. Both of them have weapons, and they surprisingly both have armor. Long distance Galil kill for Semphis. Skadoodle gets dropped, 3 alive for iBUYPOWER, and a severely wounded Dazed makes this pretty possible if they can get into bomb plant.
Yeah, it's going to be really tight here. It's going to be a 2 versus 3. They're both kind of low. They do have head armor, but auto sniper.
Yeah.
That could be the changer.
An easy headshot that Semphis just misses, puts it over the top of the hood of the white truck, and that would have been a nice gift for him to have. Hiko looks on with the auto sniper, needs to peek, has the 1-tap auto sniper kill, then a second, and Daze crushes his dreams. They were beautiful looking kills until the very end. It will be 15-3. iBUYPOWER sits on the game points. And of course, if they win this, they win the best of 3, forcing Cole to the lower bracket.
This is really the time here where we need Anger to step up extremely big for his team. He's 4-18 right now. He has not been playing the way he's been playing recently, and the last couple times iBUYPOWER has met each other. Really needs to step up for his team right now. If he's able to do that, they have to win every single round from here on out to force overtime and try and get a victory in overtime to force it to a 3rd map.
No money for either team. There have been a lot of deaths lately, and I suppose consequently it doesn't mean much to iBUYPOWER as they have a lot of room to work with, and CompLexity, well, they don't have any room to work with. But even if Cole wins this round, if they take significant casualties, next round looks ugly for them too.
Yeah, it's not good looking. Economy is definitely hurt here. Oh, man. This is going to be such a tough win and a win out for them.
Look here, the pot flash has allowed AZK to push out. They'll gather some information that nobody's here, meaning that the map gets cut in half and CompLexity's information is revealed. Though they don't control that part of the map, once iBUYPOWER knows, they'll begin to rotate. Skadoodle has the auto sniper, drops 1, and is traded. Next, Nothing wins the battle with swag, perhaps for the first time today. 2 versus 2. The last 2 versus 2 didn't really go Cole's way. They have the bomb at the same bomb site. This time it'll be Steel and AZK versus Nothing and Sean Gares. No Hiko with his auto sniper 1-taps. The bomb gets planted at default, and AZK thinks to charge the bomb planter and maybe pre-fire him. Loses that battle, steals the last, and he can put this all away. 1 at the forklift. We'll turn off the X-ray. 1 at the shipping container, just to illustrate how difficult this really is. He thinks they're at the quad. Sees, flicks, no kill. Really?
Ah, it was a fake. That fake could have been absolutely ridiculous right there.
Would have been pretty funny. 15-4.
Man, that fake would have been awesome to see. I do like what CompLexity did there. They were able to make their shots happen. They were able to rotate back up through the catwalk, or excuse me, rotate into A and get the bomb plant down and then hold it, which is huge for them. 2 versus 2 could have gone either way. Had a little bit disadvantage health-wise, but they still brought it back. So they're going to try and fight here, but they just have to try so hard not to get eco'd in iBUYPOWER.
4 charging through the doors, double Galil kill. They'll surrender the weapon. Oh, another failed. How many? That's got to be like a dozen failed nades today between the both teams.
I haven't seen that much bad nade for a while.
It's It's looking not good. I can't even put it in words how many nades have been missed. Nades, flashes, smokes, whatever. Nothing is gonna find Swag backing right up into him as a new lurker on this round. Skadoodle is the last. Our number 7, excuse me, 8. Is coming through mid, sees the feet of one player and thinks he has a second. Semphis thinks like, dude, I thought you cleared that for me. CompLexity has 5.
Man, that could have been really bad putting that into a 1 versus 2 there. Skadoodle would have been able to grab a rifle, a better rifle, I should say. He didn't already have the Galil, but that could have made that kind of tight. But CompLexity is definitely trying to steal the momentum here, able to win those rounds, connect with those shots, and not lose on an eco. And iBUYPOWER is going to do the smart thing here. They're not going to try and force. They've already got the tie guaranteed, so they can just do a light buy and try and eco.
iBUYPOWER has fallen before. They surrendered their upper bracket winnings to CompLexity in Season 3 of CEVO. They fell, Exertus beat them, and then CompLexity won the series to ultimately win the season. This time, iBUYPOWER is in the driver's seat, and specifically, Swag has a P250 and the license to win this all. The story has changed, and the power has swung really in our scene in North America. And it has been quite starkly drawn out today. Very, very definitely illustrated.
Yeah, I would have expected Skadoodle to be blowing up a little bit more here, but not really doing it.
But does he need to be? Not really.
Not really. AZK stepped up, as I said. Anybody on iBUYPOWER's roster could easily step up and be the one to do it.
CompLexity could think Swag is anywhere on the map, and just so happens that he's in the exact right spot. He's laid a trap for Semphis and Anger, and I cannot help but feel that the game is about to end off of a P250 Mendy.
This could be a very, very sick 1 versus 2, and he knows now he made the right decision by going to B.
He stays at the generator, looks away from the smoke, has an easy kill, could pick up an AK, has the AK, steps up, and fights Semphis with the Jack-in-the-Box style. One tap on the third try, dirty kill for the final one, 16-5. iBUYPOWER wins the upper bracket finals, advances to the grand finals, and awaits the lower bracket finalist. You're watching CEVO TV. Thank you again to our partners.